Today I'm sharing with you 5 macaroni salads that are potluck worthy. Are you ready? Aprons on? Let's go. First up, we're gonna make a Mexican macaroni salad. For this recipe, you're gonna need to boil a pound of elbow macaroni. Then we're gonna mix together a cup of mayonnaise, a cup and a half of chunky salsa, a half a cup of diced green bell pepper, and a teaspoon of salt, garlic powder, and ground black pepper to taste. I thought I was recording. To your bowl, add your mayonnaise, your salsa, then add your green peppers and your seasonings. Whisk that all together. I found this recipe on allrecipes.com and it intrigued Derek and I that we're like, okay, let's try it. It's so different from anything we've ever had. Okay, once that is done, you're gonna add in your pasta. Okay, let's incorporate all this together. This recipe also calls for 1 6-ounce can of sliced black olives drained. It is optional. I am gonna leave it out for right now just because a lot of the family doesn't like black olives. And I am making this recipe for a family like picnic tonight. Talk about easy. This is like the fastest macaroni salad I've ever put together. So set this in your fridge for an hour before you serve it. But I've just got to show you what this looks like. It tastes so good. This is absolutely delicious, full of flavor, really not lacking for anything, and super fast and easy to put together. Oh my goodness. And the black olives would be just as delicious in it. We are definitely keeping this recipe. Yum. Let's make a classic tangy macaroni salad. We're gonna cook up a pound of elbow macaroni. Cook our macaroni to the directions on the package. Make sure the water is salted. When that's done cooking, we're gonna drain it, run it under some cold water so that it's cooled and it'll stop the cooking process. And we're just gonna set this aside for a moment. We're gonna chop up our vegetables and you're gonna need celery, red onion, and green bell pepper. I'm gonna finely dice half of this green bell pepper. So it's about 1/3 of a cup. And for my medium red onion, I'm gonna use half of it. And I'm gonna finely dice this so I have about a cup. And I'm also finely dicing up some celery to get about 1/3 of a cup. For the sauce for this salad, you're gonna need yellow mustard, white vinegar, and mayonnaise. And for the seasonings, we're gonna need salt and pepper, onion and garlic powder, and white sugar. So to our bowl, we're gonna stir together a cup of the mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of the yellow mustard, and 3 tablespoons of the white vinegar. Now let's add our seasonings in, and we'll need a 1/2 teaspoon of the black pepper, 2 teaspoons of the sugar, 1 teaspoon of the salt, and 1/2 teaspoon each of the garlic and onion powder. Let's whisk this up and get it all combined together. Okay, to our large bowl, we're gonna add our pasta and then all of our vegetables. Red onion, our green peppers, and the celery. Next, we're gonna take our dressing and pour that over it. And we're gonna give this a good mix. And I'm gonna let this sit in the fridge for about an hour before serving. That way all the flavors marry. And then you're good to go to serve it up. This is absolutely delicious. I know you'll enjoy it. We're gonna make loaded macaroni salad. We're gonna use 2 cups of cooked pasta, and you can use any shape pasta. I'm using medium shells. I steamed up some broccoli florets. I'm just chopping them up and adding them to the cooked pasta. And I'm using about 2 cups. Also to the salad, use as much bacon as you want. I probably have about 4 slices of crumbled bacon, about a 1/4 cup of chopped white onion, you could use white or red, and a 1/2 cup of small cubed sharp cheddar cheese. Now let's make the dressing for this salad. You're gonna need 1 cup mayonnaise, 2 teaspoons of ranch seasoning mix, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. Let's mix this together and add it on top of our salad and mix it up. For this recipe, you're really gonna wanna double it so it feeds a good crowd. What I love about this salad is that you can literally throw whatever you have into it. You can add frozen peas and even like bell pepper. Whatever you got, throw it in there. I decided to add more bacon. Who doesn't love bacon, right? And I'm gonna add a little bit more to this as well. So I'm chopping up a 1/2 of a cucumber, getting that in here. And I had some cherry tomatoes in the fridge and I sliced those in half and threw them in. It really is all by sight with whatever you wanna load up your salad with. Have this chill for at least a couple of hours before you serve it up. That way all the flavors marry and it's good to go. It is delicious and addicting. Enjoy. Now we're gonna make one of my favorite macaroni salads, Hawaiian macaroni salad. We're gonna cook up a pound of elbow macaroni. While that's boiling away, let's grate 1 1/2 cups of carrot and a 1/3 cup of yellow onion. Once that's done, I'm going to drain it. Add it to a bowl. Into this bowl, we're gonna pour in 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Add your grated carrot and onion in and give it a good mix. And we're gonna stir this every 15 minutes as it cools. While that's cooling, let's make the mayo dressing. To your bowl, we're gonna add 2 cups of mayonnaise and then 1/3 cup of milk. We're gonna add 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of salt. All right, we're gonna give this a good mix. Now we're gonna pour this onto our macaroni. All right, now let's give this a good mix. I grabbed a big bowl so I had plenty of room to stir, and I will put this in a nice serving bowl when it's time. It's just easier to mix this way. We're gonna add some chopped green onions to it, about 1 cup. So that could be around 7 of these, just depends on the size. Now let's add the green onions, and let's toss that in. I'm gonna wrap this up, put it in the fridge and let it cool, and then we'll serve it up. This is delicious. If you make this recipe, if you do anything similar or different, will you let me know as well? We're gonna make my mother-in-law's Creole shrimp macaroni salad. This is one of those macaroni salads that you could totally play with, add different things to. But I'm gonna make it like my mother-in-law makes it. You're gonna need some already cooked, thawed out shrimp. All I have in my freezer right now are these bigger prawns, but we usually use the small shrimp, and of course deveined with the tail off. I just grab a bag of frozen shrimp. Again, go off of what you think you'll need. So you're gonna boil a pound of macaroni. I'm used to eating this with elbow macaroni. Okay, I'm just letting this drain, and then I'm gonna run it under cold water to stop that cooking process. So I'm chopping up some celery, a few stalks, and I'm dicing them up and getting them in. I'm also using some green onion, about 3 to 4 green onions, dicing those, getting them in. For the seasonings, you can use seasoned salt, Creole seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper if you like. So of course I'm using mayonnaise for this salad. And again, I do this by eye, but all in all, I'm gonna use about 2 cups of mayonnaise. Okay, for the seasoning, I eyeball this, I know. But if you want measurements, my guess is you're gonna use a teaspoon of everything. Once you get that in, mix it all up. That way you can see if you need any more mayonnaise, taste it, see if you need any more seasonings. Now I'm adding my shrimp in. I do this last because shrimp is delicate. I don't want it to break apart, especially if you use the small shrimp. Okay, now give that a good mix. You could wrap this up, put it in your fridge for about an hour or so to get it nice and cold, let those flavors marry, and you're good to go. For this recipe though, I would love to know what else would you put in this salad and what seasonings would you put in it? I would love to hear. It is absolutely delicious, and if you have shrimp lovers, they're gonna love this as well. The next macaroni salad is my mom's macaroni salad. It is so yummy. Boil a pot of salted water, add in a pound of elbow macaroni. After it's done cooking, cool it down, rinse off all that starch. Once you do that, bring it to a bowl and add in your Miracle Whip. You can use mayo, but it is so good with Miracle Whip. Now, this is where I don't measure, but I notice I usually need about 2 cups of this. Once we're done adding in all the rest of the ingredients, I take another look to see if it needs more. And if I am making this recipe the day before, I usually, the day of serving, will put a little bit more, like tablespoons of Miracle Whip in and stir it up. And again, I have no measurements. It's all by what you would like, but I usually use about 1/2 of a green pepper chopped up. I'll chop up 1/2 of a small red onion. When I don't have a red onion, I will use a yellow one. Then I'll dice up a couple of stalks of celery. I season it with salt and pepper and Auntie Nono's everything seasoning. If you want to use a seasoning that has a little more kick to it, go for it. Then add in 1 can of tuna fish drained, and then stir all that up, wrap it up, let it sit in the fridge for an hour before serving. It's so good, it's so good. I can't not have it at a cookout. Check out this video here where I share all my strategies on how you can save at the grocery store. I'll meet you over there. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.